Hey guys, Daniel Zero. How you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land, whatever part of the world that you are in. It's been a few days, so I figured I'd sit down and hang out with y'all for a second and have a cup of coffee. You guessed it. Holy crap, that's good coffee. Okay, first question. Somebody asked what I have. I have these tubs here on my back porch, and what's in them and why are they on the back porch. One of them is a bucket that's got tinder in it. Whenever I'm splitting wood with the log splitter, somebody honking. Whenever I split wood with the log splitter, I've always got little bitty pieces that sometimes will chunk off of the bigger splits, so I keep those for tinder and kindling. Tinder being the really small pieces and fine stuff, and if I catch a nice big clump of dry grass or an old abandoned bird's nest or something like that, I'll throw it into my tinder bucket, and that's where I start the fire with. And then these other tubs have got smaller pieces, really dry stuff for kindling to get your fire going and to get a bed of coals going. And then this one right here has got charcoal in it that I made. I put it in here, and sometimes at night I'll throw a couple of big chunks of charcoal in there just to kind of keep the heat built up and the bed of coals built up in there. So that's what the tubs are, which kind of leads into the next question. Somebody asked me if I had any kind of hints or tips for how to keep warm in the wintertime. So far we haven't had that bad of a winter here where I live in. I live in southern Ohio in the northern part of Appalachia. The very southernmost part of Ohio is where I live, and it hasn't been really bad yet. We haven't had any snow to speak of. We've had a couple of days, about 3 or 4 days that was 0 and below 0 Fahrenheit. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are going to say, well, 10 below 0, that ain't, all you guys way up here in the North Country, 10 below 0, that's, that's Bermuda shorts and umbrella drinks for you guys. But then there's other people, down in, South Louisiana who are like, wait a minute. You can measure temperatures below 0 now? When did this happen? No, that's not right. So, but winter has hit a lot of folks, in this, in our country, and winter's been pretty bad. So anyway, like I say, they asked if I had any tips and tricks on keeping warm. Keeping your house warm, keeping your animals warm, and keeping yourself warm. And the biggest thing that I have learned that has helped me out a lot was to learn what's called the 3 methods of heat transfer, which is convection, conduction, and radiation. Those are the 3 ways that heat is transferred from one thing to another thing. And I learned about them in my remember I got this little black book called The Pocket Ref. And it tells a lot and gives a lot of good examples of those 3 types of heat transfer. For example, the heat exchanger, when the barrel gets hot, the space inside of the box around it gets hot via radiation. The barrel gets hot and it radiates heat into the square box around it. And then the heat transfer method of convection is what takes the hot air up and into the house. So we have radiation and convection here working simultaneously to keep our house warm. And an example of conduction would be that if you're laying on the ground with nothing between you and the ground, then the ground will pull heat from your body via the conduction method of heat transfer. So anyway, if you can learn and kind of understand those 3 methods and how heat is transferred from like your house to the outside, with your windows, and whether it can be with a breeze and convection, or whether it just be the heat radiating out, then you can also at the same time learn how to kind of block that. I use bubble wrap on my windows. It works really good. It was a great tip that I learned from Jeff over there at Missouri Wind and Solar. What's up, Jeff? And it works really good for keeping the windows from radiating any of the heat losing any of the heat. So that is my advice. You can get those little Pocket Ref books. They're just about this big and they're black. I got mine at Harbor Freight, I think, for like $9.99 or something like that. Yeah, the sun's coming out. The birds are happy. Can you hear them? So that's the best advice I can do, because that'll help out with a lot of different things in the future. Even in the summertime, if your house is getting extremely hot, then you can reverse that and say, okay, well, how do I keep the heat out rather than keep the heat in? and you can read about, read those principles and apply those principles of heat transfer and keep your stuff cooler or warmer, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So I hope that wasn't too scientifical. I'm not, like I say, I'm not a scientifical dude. I'm just a dude, and that's what has helped me personally, learning about how to keep things warm and how to keep the house warm and myself warm and my animals warm. So there you have it. Somebody asked what I think about the gas prices. I love the fact that the gas prices are down to $2 a gallon again. I wish they'd stay like that all the time. I'm not an economicalologist or whatever it is, an economist. An economy dude. I don't understand why things happen the way that they do. It seems to me like if it was $4 this time last year, now all of a sudden it's dropped down and over the course of the winter to $2. They should be able to keep it at $2 all the time. It just makes me think that somebody somewhere is up to something. I don't know why all of a sudden it dropped down. I don't know. And at the same time, why isn't other things coming down in price? I mean, the groceries are still as expensive as they ever were. You would figure that shipping has gone down, if gas has gone down. If fuel costs have gone down, then the cost of shipping should have gone down, which means that the stuff should be cheaper at the store if it costs less to get, but it hasn't happened that way. And I don't know. I know my friend Bill, from Bill and Rose's Off-Grid Solar Cabin, he says that diesel fuel hasn't gone down that much. So maybe that's the reason why shipping costs haven't gone down, because most everything is brought by big trucks. I don't know, but I know that me being a gasoline burner in my trucks and my chainsaws and my log splitters and stuff like that, it definitely helps, take a little bit of the burden off. It keeps me, hopefully I can have an extra $1 in my pocket after I fill up my truck or one of my gas cans or something. But at the same time, I see where the government's going to try to slap us with some new gas taxes. So, because we can't have an extra dime in our pocket, they got to figure out how to get in there and get it. So they just can't have us having any kind of extra money. That would be unacceptable. So anyway, guys, that's going to be about it for now. Just like I said, I wanted to sit and visit and ask about those couple of comments. Somebody had asked me about what I thought about all the extremism that's going on with the killings in France and whatnot. And, I don't know what to make about all that. I don't know what to make of it all. It's a crazy world, and it's a dangerous world that we live in. And, sometimes you got a group of dudes who wants to do bad things to other people, and it just happens. And so all I can say is watch your backs. Watch out and be aware of what's going on around you at all times. If you're out, and especially y'all that live in the cities, just be careful out there. Be aware of what's happening, because there's crazy stuff, man, in the world. Crazy, crazy stuff. So, and I just pray that God is with everybody, and even y'all who don't believe in God, I pray that God keeps y'all's back safe and watches over us all. And we'll just take it a day at a time and see what happens. So all we can do is all we can do. That's what it is. So anyway, I hope this helps. Thank you guys for watching. We'll have some more videos coming up in the next couple of days about doing some those deer hides that I got soaking. Will soon be done, and I'm going to get them out and we'll stretch them on a frame. I'll show you guys how I stretch and tie them up and to let them dry before we start working them. And I've had some people ask me about rabbits. I'll start doing a rabbit, how I do my rabbits anyway, and the types of cages that I have and what my personal preference is. Like I said, I'm not an expert in anything, but these are just my personal preferences, and I'll share that with you. I've been kind of waiting for the weather to warm up just a little bit so that the rabbits aren't just crammed into the little hidey holes in there. So anyway, we'll see you guys in the next few days with that, and hopefully here maybe tomorrow or the next day we'll be doing these deer hides, and we'll share that up with you guys. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. God bless. The end. Buzz, buzz. The end.